Okay. Okay, just so you all know, the recording has begun. Welcome to the SWAN Circulation Advisory Group. Today's January 19th, 2022. It's our first meeting of the year. Woo! Just wanted to show you the agenda real quick. Looks small in size, however, there's a lot of actual work packed into it. So we'll go around and introduce ourselves, the chairs, as well as the Circ Advisory Group members. So let's get going. My name is Crystal Vella. I am the chair for this group. I'm going to pass the mic over to Sam from SWAN.
Hi everybody, this is Sam Deedle. I am the co-chair of this group, and good morning to everyone.
Okay, Lucas, why don't we have you kick it off and introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lucas McKeever, and I am here representing Elmwood Park Public Library.
Thank you, Lucas. Victoria?
Hello, I'm Victoria. I'm from the River Forest Public Library.
Thanks, Victoria. Thanks for coming this morning. Stephanie?
I am Stephanie DeYoung from the Batavia Public Library.
Thanks, Steph. Oh, bless you, whoever that was. Karen?
Hey, I'm Karen. I'm from Homewood Public Library. Sorry.
It's been a morning.
Yeah, so far already.
Yeah. Is Sandra?
Hi, good morning. This is Sandra Leva from Alsip Library.
Hey, Sandra. Tom?
Tom Webb from the Matson Area Public Library.
Thanks, Tom. And Jerry?
Jerry Kane from the Carroll Stream Public Library.
Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
Just so we are all aware, Pam and Peggy were unable to make it to today's meeting. So we are all in attendance and we can start moving forward. I first want to thank all of you for taking a look at Blue Cloud, getting yourself a little bit familiarized with it, and as well as the excellent feedback you've all provided. It's been great to read through all of those documents you sent and see the screenshots and kind of get a feel for what you all think about the product, and we'll be able to definitely get some good feedback to Circe Dynex. So, all right. I sent some links to you guys for the Circ Advisory Group. Right now is a good time to open them up. The first one you're going to use is the practice board. So you should be seeing something called fruit or veggie. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of us, so we'll wait for the other 2 to hop in. If you haven't gotten in here yet, I sent the link to via email just maybe about a half an hour ago as a reminder. So if you missed the first one, there is a second email with the links there handy. Okay, this is what we call a Miro board, and this is what we'll be using to prioritize our findings for the Blue Cloud circulation product. Okay, so let's see. What you're going to do is you'll see a couple of options here, and you'll also see this kind of this area with these like blue blocks. Just going to get you acquainted with the Miro board so you don't feel lost when working in the one we're actually going to use. So right here, the zoom in at the bottom of your screen here, and you also have a zoom out option so we can get real close and into our bubbles, our specific bubbles. We can also zoom out, and then you can kind of gather. If we zoomed out a little bit more, we can look at just the entire board, or we can zoom in, and this will be more apparent. You'll see kind of this line, this box over here. You'll be able to kind of maneuver this around and change what you're looking at. And that'll kind of be more apparent in the other. You'll see that a little more clearly in the other board and the actual board that we use. So right now, I could see some of you started moving some of these stickies. So you'll see all these sticky notes, and I'm going to put on a timer here, and I'm going to give you just a couple minutes, and I want your opinions on whether or not these options here and these sticky notes, are they fruits or are they veggies? So let's go here, and I'll give you 1 minute. Ready, set, go. Super fun to see the board go crazy. Oh, who's gonna take rose hips? Okay. All right, let's zoom out here. We have 10 seconds. Are you guys gonna steal anything? Move it from veggie back to fruit? Oh, time's up. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so this was just basically a quick practice to kind of get you all acquainted with what a Miro board is and just moving these, things around. I will say that was really quick, guys. You guys got the hang of it super fast. Good for y'all. But rose hips is wrong. Surprisingly, it's a fruit. Who knew? I didn't before this activity. In the next activity that you guys do for the actual blue cloud, you might have a little bit more, not disagreement, I wouldn't say that, but you might have some different opinions, and you might be, taking something from one area and moving it to another. That'll become a little bit clearer once we get into the next Miro board. So thank you all. Are there any questions from Circuit Advisory about the Miro board, how to move things, how to navigate it? Feel free to unmute. No?
I'm still having trouble moving the board back and forth, not moving the items so much, but
Who is this, Karen?
yeah, this is Karen,
Okay.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna, so do you see kind of where in your lower screen you have this, these blue boxes all the way in like the right corner?
In the lower right corner?
Yeah, you see the boxes down here? They're all
No.
blue. So I'm sharing my screen and I'll try to see
Can't even back to.
this. Let me see. How can I?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not seeing.
If you hover over, do you see like a little finger, like that little hand icon? You may need to kind of hover towards the bottom, and then you'll see like a little map icon. If that's minimized for whatever reason. Crystal, if you hit the map icon, and you can see what it looks like if it's minimized.
So yeah, it'll just be like this little hand and then this like little white like screen or just the hand. It could look
Okay,
like
I've got
that.
a little white thing down here.
Okay.
Are you still hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. What did you just
Okay.
say though? You found it? The little hand?
I have a little white thing down there. I just didn't see all the blue boxes.
Yeah, okay. So you see the accordion? It looks like
Yeah,
a pin map.
here we are. Thank you.
Okay. So there, you'll be able, when we're zoomed in, because the other Miro board's larger, you'll be able to, you'll see this black box, and you'll be able to move that around
Okay.
to, you just, it's like a click and drag, and you'll be able to move it around the board so you can see things a little bit clearer. So I would try that and then let us know if you're still having any problems.
Okay. Yeah, my computer's been kind of slow and I'm just,
Oh, yeah, it's completely understandable. I'm tired just like your computer.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah, just a little under the weather, so we're making it through, guys.
All right.
All right, let's see. Okay, so we're good with this Miro board, this practice one. You guys got the feel of it. We can move on to our main activity. Yeah, let's do it. I think you guys are ready. Okay. All right, let me go grab that other board. So you guys should, again, have the link. I sent it. So open that one up, not the practice one, but the blue cloud one. Okay, so you guys should, excuse me, should see something like this. Okay, and again, here in this corner, you'll see this map is a little bit bigger. We have a few more boxes here than our first Miro board activity. And so I'm just going to navigate around a little bit. I'm dragging my box over and I'm putting your feedback in here. So kind of the good that we saw. You'll see I put in your name. I tried to quote you as much as possible so that, and we knew who liked what. And then if there were multiple mentions of something that was, you all really liked, I just put multiple. I didn't want to list everybody. So you can see some of the positive feedback there. Right next to it here in the orange, we have what was bad. So the things that, really didn't work for you all. And from the bad, I was able to create some new ideas. And that is what we will be focusing on today. Here are your ideas, okay? So we had quite a few here. And from there, we're going to prioritize these ideas. Now, this is not to say that these will be the only ideas we have. We obviously will be going through this and going through every new release and finding things to improve upon. So this is our starting point. So let's just keep that in mind. This is not the last time we'll be doing something like this, for sure. So below here, we have a should do, a must do, and a could do. Okay. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so we can that's a little much, but so we can kind of get a little bit of lay of the land. So essentially what you are going to do is take these ideas and silently, we're not going to talk about these ideas. These are all your ideas, came from your documents that you sent in. You're going to grab your ideas and put them in a should do pile, a must do pile, or a could do pile. So I want you to think of these options here as your your must do is something you absolutely cannot live without. It will break down the whole functionality of your workflow. Okay, so for example, when Blue Cloud was first being developed, it was brought to their attention that check-in is a must. We need the option to check something in. We can't just have that not exist, right? So that was a must do. A should do was the book drop. Okay. They could find a workaround. They could go to workflows, let's say, and do that. But that should really be implemented, having the book drop feature on its own separately, not just from check-in, having that noted somewhere. And then the could do would be, you could do this. It's not really going to be detrimental to my everyday work. Would be nice maybe, but not something I'm going to not use the product over. Okay. So there was an option to email or print your check-in list. That's a could do. Not necessary, but a could. Kind of cool. So I want you to think of it in that regard. So your must do is, I can't live without this. And I'm not going to give any opinions on that right now of what I think any of your ideas would be. We're not going to talk about the ideas. We're going to do this thing called the KJ method, where you've already given me all your ideas. They're formatted here. They're put in this bubble format here, and you're going to have, I'm going to give you 15 minutes and we'll see, and feel free to move things wherever in the must do, should do, or could do pile. I caution you against putting everything in one. Not everything here is going to be a must do. Not everything in here is going to be a should do, and not everything on your idea board is going to be a could do. So really read through them, take your time, and think about where you would prioritize this. Again, must do is, I cannot live without this. Okay, after we do that, then we're going to go into some, we'll talk a little bit about the ideas, and we'll do a voting activity. Okay. All right.
Kristen,
Yeah.
can I ask? So what if someone put something in a could do and I think it's a must do? Can I move it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. Thank you, Tara. Yeah, feel free to move it. And that's kind of the point of this. If we're going to try to keep an eye on what we see, either moving back and forth where there might be some disagreement, and then we'll talk through them after the fact, and then we might change a mind here and there. Okay, so are there any other questions before we start the timer on the activity? You guys feel good navigating around the board? Okay, so right now we're just going to be focusing on the ideas and the 3 boxes below. The good and the bad, that was just note taking really. So we won't be moving anything from either of those boxes over here, okay? Just so we're clear. It's just the ideas portion. Okay. All right. If there are no questions about this, I am going to start the timer. I'm going to give us 15 minutes. Okay, ready, set, go. You guys are super fast. We have a little less than 10 minutes here. You're all being very polite, which is nice, but feel free to, again, it's okay to disagree here. We can move things back and forth and have a conversation about it as well. So
Feel free to ignore the, I think we can already do this, because I was thinking item location, not pickup location.
Thanks for the clarification, Lucas. A little less than 4 minutes. Last minute. Thirty seconds. Okay. All right, it's like a countdown. Okay, we're pretty much done, AC. Everyone's kind of stopped, so our time is up. Thank you. Okay. Alrighty. Saw a little bit of back and forth. That was good. Changing your minds, figuring it out. Okay. We are going to, let's look at these. Must do's, should do's, and could do's. Okay, so we've had some comments in here about these sorting and credit card payments. So let's talk about those, since those were some questions here. It is my understanding that you can pay with a credit card. If that is the comment, is that that's not, there's no ability to do that at all. What I read from most of the comments and the feedback I got was that there was no prompt to slide the card. And that was kind of a thing that everybody wanted to see. So for those of you who commented on credit cards and wanting a prompt, can you speak to this a little bit?
Yeah, so what I was referring to with that is, so you can make a payment with credit card, however, it doesn't integrate with ProPay. So even if you were to swipe the card, it doesn't charge the card.
Okay. Let me make a note of that.
So just to clarify that there is no credit card payment integration right now with Blue Cloud. So when you say pay with credit card, that's just selecting a payment type in our policies.
Yeah, and that's that like BCC rate, Dawn, like the from their drop down.
Yeah, but it's not integrating with the physical card swipe at all. That's just an integration with workflows.
Cool, thank you. Okay, so getting a little bit of clarification on that, does that change this? Create the prompt?
No, you would still need the prompt.
Okay, so is that still a
When
should do?
When it does integrate with ProPay, right now all it does is dock the patron's account via, show up as a credit card payment, but it doesn't do the other piece, which it currently does now in workflows, which is charge the customer's credit card.
Okay. All right, I'm adding
Is ProPay integration the requirement, or is credit card payment accepted the requirement?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yes, credit card payment is required.
Okay. But not necessarily ProPay if there's another option.
Yeah.
Is that a should or a must?
That's a must.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought would be the case. Okay. So does that change the prompt?
You would always be prompted to swipe a credit card.
So does that go into the must or the should? Where do you guys want to leave it?
To me, it seems like it's part of that credit card payment. It's just a necessary part of that process.
Am I right, team? I mean, do you all do credit card payments at your desk?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Okay, let's look at the rest of the should do's. Or actually, where do you guys want to start here? Let's do the could do's, okay? And then after we go through these and make sure we got everything where we want it, we'll do a voting system. Okay. Okay, so overall, a larger font. I got that a couple of times throughout the feedback. You know, there's only so much you can see from the screen. Certain things get cut off once you enlarge your screen settings. But there was like just a general consensus of the things need to be bigger. We need to be able to read them clearer. So you guys feel like that's still a could do? Your staff would be okay with having to scroll, utilize the scroll bars quite a bit. Okay, and feel free to mute yourselves so you can have a conversation about these. A clearer home button. Currently, I know it's not the most enticing button, but that you all seem to just think that's a kind of low priority, something you probably get used to. Cancel hold confirmation to last bigger, longer. It's usually just a little pop up in the lower corner here. Okay. Have a cancel hold button on the hold screen. Maybe wanna an option to cancel multiple holds at once. Right now you have to do them one by one. Add an override allowing to check out to an expired card. Currently it won't let you, there is no override. You have to kind of resolve the issue with the card first. Okay. No objections. Press enter instead of clicking for the pop-ups. That was a thought an idea somebody presented. So make navigation options customizable. Let me log in here. Hold on one second. This does not want to work for me. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So what I mean by that is let's see, I'm just gonna pull up a test
So
patron here.
Can you increase your browser size on here to see? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Okay. So this is the navigation options. It was noted that we'd like some customization here. So moving this patron information to the top as opposed to items so that it's faster to go in and edit the patron. Okay. So that is a could do, not necessary, but okay. The SMS fields organization. let's look at what that looks like over here. So I think there is just a request to kind of have this be customizable. And have this defaulted. Let's see. Do I have that correct? If I interpreted your ideas incorrectly, please let me know. We can edit these. Okay. Having an expiration date populate based on the patron profile and the patron accounts. So basically what this means is, you know, you might have when you're registering a patron, their patron profile having the expiration date set to whatever your setting is in workflows. So if your card expires in a year, have that setting for that profile populate without having to input an expiration date for the user. Is that a could do or must do? Or just leave it here? Okay, I'll leave it there. Searching, let me make this bigger because searching for an item through the patron first. So that's the activity that this person was doing when they suggested this idea. They'd like to have more information available when placing a hold through the patron account to ensure that you have the correct item, such as like the status, the library, the location. Okay. We can leave that here, totally up to you all. Okay. All right, let's go over to these should do's and see if there's anything we might want to take a look at. Okay, so the ability to set hold range to default to system. So currently you have to select it when you're placing a hold, whether you want to leave that there or not. Do you guys need that demonstrated, or you know what I'm talking about here? Okay, you want to leave?
Okay, I have a comment about that.
Yeah.
I noticed that when you're going to do your first hold, you have to set your the system range. But once you start placing holds after that, mine was already defaulted to system.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if, you know, that was the experience that everyone had, but if it could be defaulted, it would be, you know, it would be better, but not a must that we needed to live with workflows web-based.
Okay, let's see. Let's Okay, so here, mine is defaulting to library, probably because I did that already today. So if I set this to system and place the hold, and then let's say I want to place another hold for this, let's see. Yeah, it saves your last settings. Okay, so knowing that, we should leave that there. You're all good with that? Okay. The hold queue needs to be added in item information. That was from a few of you who wanted to see that hold queue, but should do, not necessarily a must do. Okay, if you click on the hold, you need to see the pickup by date or the date available and date notified. So assuming that's to kind of help with patrons who are at your desk looking for an item, but stuff you could probably do a workaround, look them up in workflows. So okay, let's talk about this hold status. This caused a lot of confusion. Hold status could be clearer. This was what it looks like. Blue Cloud does is it shows all the holds, expired, canceled, inactive. So that caused a lot of you to think that holds were not displaying correctly, when in fact it was just probably too much information. So the idea would be to only show the active holds in the item search area, as opposed to everything that's kind of ever existed. So
I would say either that or have the active on shelf ready for pickup be a different term than ones that have been picked up already, because right now those have the same term. So if one is complete or something, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know that we need all of that information every time.
okay. Thanks. That helps. Okay, the ability to customize alerts. So we saw quickly when I searched for patron, we saw all the active IDs and inactive IDs. I know helping patrons, we've had numerous conversations on alerts and workflows. So having the ability to customize the alerts that we see, especially when a patron first appears at our desk and you're checking materials out to them. You don't really need to just have to click OK for something that isn't that important. So like knowing all the inactive IDs they've ever had. So that was also something that a few of you mentioned. Okay. Previous bill information. That was, I'll be honest, I thought that would end up in a must do. Quite a few, I think almost everyone who gave feedback talked a little bit about that and how it's important to have that information. So,
yeah, I would say I like it as a must.
I had
Sherry?
it there and somebody moved it. So
Yeah.
I figured somebody must have a solution to finding out how patrons, when they say, I already paid for that, and you're able to find it. So I'd like to know what that solution is, if you have that.
I don't know if they have a solution or maybe they just think they can find it in workflows currently, so they would just do that way maybe.
That's
How,
what I was just going to jump in, and that's what I would think. I have an idea that keeping this as the interface as simple as possible for just the routine checking out things
Mm-hmm.
is for the clerk ones who are out there just doing the checkouts in a line, having all this information available of previous things isn't always that helpful and can get them in little loops of searching for things that don't need to be done to just get through the regular stuff. So it's not that you shouldn't be able to see it, it's just that you don't need it in your immediate view for everybody. That's kind of how I was looking at it.
I see. So where would it be?
Well, like Crystal said, like digging in further through workflows if we had to, something like that. It just,
We'll always have them both.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Because we'll always have both workflows and this interface and Blue Cloud.
Well, for the time being, I kind of see it that way, but it's also just most of the time you don't need that, and it's mostly just to keep the work area just clear of all that stuff for people who are just doing the basic stuff over and over again.
So
It's
you're
not, like I said, not that it shouldn't be there. It just to be as clean an interface as possible for the people who are just doing the everyday stuff that doesn't require that digging in.
I think some of the everyday stuff does require the digging in. If you get a patron who comes to the desk and says, I already paid for this, and you need to do some digging, I think that information needs to be there.
Okay. Sandra,
Okay,
you
well-
also wrote, I agree. Who do you agree with?
Oh, it was on the previous
Okay.
on the previous conversation on the other tag,
Oh, okay.
which I don't remember now which tag was it, but
The
it was something
alerts,
else.
maybe?
Yes, maybe yes.
Okay. So what I want us to keep in mind, not that I'm trying to make you all fight here, but I do think that, you know, what we're doing here, our goal, right, is to have a product that can work at the desk, and maybe you won't have all of the functionality that you can have in workflows. But what is it that you need to do the basic job of checking in, checking out, and registering patrons? Now, as you as managers are probably being pulled in to you know, more of those difficult conversations, right? So, no, I paid for that. No, I didn't lose that. No, I did claims returned on that, those type of things. And so maybe you might need more. You know, you might need that previous bill information. And maybe you can get that elsewhere in workflows. And maybe some of your clerks will need that type of that level, that higher level of in-depth things. But when we're talking, giving all this feedback to the developers, we want to keep these types of things in mind, like, you know, in terms of what is going to make this product available and easily adaptable to the majority of libraries on an everyday basis, right? And then, you know, we can scale into the nittier, grittier type of things like, you know, sorting, you know, how the hold shelf sorts, you know, but having the functionality of the hold shelf being there, that's the important thing, you know? So having the ability to pay bills is probably way more important than having the previous bill information. So I was surprised that it was in the should do because it was mentioned so much. But I could see why it should be in the should do. Can I get it? Does that make a little bit of sense? Because you can get the information somewhere else. when you're doing a little bit of digging. And I know Peggy's not here, but Peggy was one of our first libraries to take a look at Blue Cloud, and they do work side by side with workflows and Blue Cloud up. And her desk uses Blue Cloud. Her circ staff uses Blue Cloud every day. And so, you know, for things like hold wrappers, they just pop over to workflows and scan those things in. So for a while, it will definitely be something you use in conjunction with workflows. It won't replace it right away. So let's keep that in mind while we're talking about these. So I think for previous bill, we should leave it here. We could definitely, you know, as we see some of our must-dos go, you know, get implemented, we can reprioritize. Okay, let's see, create a clone user. Is that good in the should do's, or do you guys want to move it to must?
I wouldn't mind it being in must. When you have a family of 5, it's pretty nice.
Okay, that's one. Anybody else?
So we do issue a lot of families, so it would be nice to be able to just plop that information over there. So I'll go with you. I'll go must.
Okay. Yeah.
Like everybody else, when we're dealing with families, it's one that we use a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's 3 of you. Let's do it. We'll move it over. Dawn put something in the chat. It is high on their priority list, creating a clone user. So hopefully it'll get released in the next couple of releases. Released soon, let's say. Let's see. An item record somebody wants the following information in the item record. Bills, bill history, active hold information, checkout information, due date, charge date, circ rule. Basically what you see in workflows when you're in an item. I think that that's definitely good in the should do pile. When searching for an item, it would be helpful if we were able to sort by column headers, title, author, format, etc. That seems like a good place. Make overdue items have an alert in checkouts, make it highlighted and bolded, or both. That's definitely a good one. And enter a scroll bar in the patron registration. So I had to go and kind of see this for myself because I didn't quite understand it. But when I first just read it, because I was like, how does it not do that? But indeed, it doesn't. So you kind of have to like tab over. You can't just, you know, use your mouse and pull down. So I'm not sure if anyone else noticed that.
So I found that on one computer that I use, and then on another one there was a scroll bar. And so I thought at that point that maybe it was just the browser I was using the first time was outdated or not compatible with it. But I think if there is just widespread computers that will not have a scroll bar, that's important to implement, because then you'll think those fields aren't there. And a lot of people, even scrolling down sometimes is something you have to explain how to do. And if you start using tab, I think it's just going to get confusing.
Okay. Let's test that a little bit further. Let's, I might call on you, Lucas, to set up some testing for different browsers and see what you're seeing on your screen. Okay. All
Sure
right.
thing.
Thanks. And then the hold shelf management, add pickup by dates. It's good to leave and should do. Yeah.
Can I add something to one of them? So when searching for an item, it would be helpful if we were able to sort by column headers. I think one of the comments I had was also things like the format are not as specific. So like video disc includes Blu-ray, and things like that might be a little bit easier to, like, because we have the 5 or 690 field. No, that's
590.
596. 590, thank you. So if we went by that instead of just, I don't know what it's pulling from.
Okay. Well, yeah, 590 isn't displayed in BC Circ at all. So that's definitely something we can add here. We are a little unique, for sure.
Thank you.
Just not something that would be like off the bat implemented, because we are the only people using it. So, yeah, it's pretty unique to us. So, okay, I think we're good here on the should do's. Let me see. What time does this meeting end? 11:30. Okay. Let's go into our must do's. Get these situated, see if you want to move anything, and then let's prioritize so we can vote and then get these all together for them. Okay, so the ability to place hold on items without call numbers. So these are the on order items that I'm assuming, right? Whoever put this in there, that don't have call numbers yet, you can't place holds on them. And you want to be able to do that. Correct? Okay. Does anyone want to make a case for moving this from must do? Okay. RFID integration, must do. Oh, it ends at 11. Thanks, Tara. All right, we're going to hurry it up. Signature pad integration. Yeah. I'm going to, unless you say otherwise, I'm just going to keep all of these here. Adding a bill. Necessary. Add an override to delete a patron. No objections there. Okay. View the last patron who checked out an item. Okay. Created a clone a user. We move that over here. Have a way to filter searches to just your library's holdings. Okay, similar to the way the patron searches. With this drop down. So how we search for a patron and having this all libs, which is something that was implemented because we suggested it, just so you know. So having one for items as well. Okay, the ability to see the pickup by date when an item is available. Okay, creating hold wrappers. Big must. Have a way to filter. Okay, we did that. Searching needs. We need to see the title, the author, the format, pub year, library, and location. The right-click ability to change the due date. Really think that's a must-do. Adding a duplicate patron button to check for accounts, and sorting this, sorting your list by, what is this? I can't read it. Is that pull list by location?
The pickup location.
Pickup location. Sorry, I can't see somebody's on it. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, we are going to, and no objections here. Everybody wants to leave all of these in these must-dos. We're going to go ahead and vote. Okay, I am going to give you, Tara, would you mind starting the vote?
Yes. And how long do you want to give everyone?
I don't know, like a minute.
Okay.
I think that's
And
good.
how many votes?
Let's see, we have 5, 10, 15. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. What do you think? Like a 5?
Yeah. And then is this a dot vote? Do you want to explain that?
Yes, that would be a good idea. Okay, so we're going to start a voting, and what you'll do is you'll have I believe you should see the option to join, and once you hit join, you'll have 5 votes, and you'll be able to click on. You can either use all of your dots. You'll have, let's say, 5 dots, and it would be similar to like putting them on a sticky note. So you can place all your 5 dots on one, saying, no, adding a bill, I want all my votes to go to that. Or you can spread them out and pick 5, one individual sticky. So you can spread it out, or you can pull more weight behind a specific topic that might be near and dear to you. Does everybody understand? Have any questions on that?
Are we dotting anything, or it should stick in the must do?
Just in the must do. So you'll just be sticking to that. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, Dawn says we should make it 3 minutes. Okay, we can always end it if we see nobody.
Yeah, you can always end early if you need to. And I did limit it to the must do column, so I'm going to start the vote now.
10 seconds. Ooh, look at that. Top voting. Adding a bill. Creating hold wrappers got 3 votes. Okay, let's see. Oh, it went away. Okay.
I don't know. Where did the results go?
I don't know. We'll find them.
We'll find them.
And my screen is all grayed out. Like it can't do anything. Of course, just some technical difficulties. I will figure this portion out. We are coming quickly to a close here, and I know some of you probably want a little break before you might head over to our next session. So of PayPal, the next meeting we have. So let's see. We will.
I was able to pull it up, so it is saved. No worries. And
Okay,
if you
good.
want me to say, shout out the top 5 real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've got number 1's adding a bill, create hold wrappers, and view the last patron who checked out an item. Or each got 3 votes. As did credit card integration, and then add override to delete. We got a couple of 2 votes. Add override to delete a patron. Create a clone user, SIGPAD integration, RFID, and filtering. All got 2 votes.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to take the top view and start sending them into the SPP. Take a look at what's coming up and in their next release, and see if any of our should, could, or musts are in their next release or coming release, and just kind of keep an eye on those. But anything that isn't already being addressed somewhere, I'll definitely add into the SPP. If it is being addressed, I will put our voice behind it and say, yeah, also we would like to see that happen. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming and giving all of your feedback and testing all this stuff out. Of course, we will continue working with this board probably throughout our meetings, just to keep on task and move things around. Hopefully we'll have a finished bubble here to put our requests in. So once they all get implemented, right? That's the hope. So I will give you a couple minutes of your life back, and I hope if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to stop the recording right now.